Okay, let's break this banking system down to make it a bit easier to understand as well, and enable you to share the idea with people so they understand it a bit more when it comes, so it's not too much of a shock. All that is happening across the entire globe at the minute is control is being taken back. So the banking elites have literally had control of the world because they were the mega rich. They enabled to control the money because everybody was putting the money in there for safekeeping. That's kind of where it all started out, but then they got richer and richer and richer. And then if you look at like the Federal Reserve, the only reason the Federal Reserve got put in place is because these rich bankers managed to basically fiddle their way into getting it passed through Congress. Not the first time, I might add, the first time that it was blocked, but those people that blocked it, unfortunately, were on the Titanic. Coincidence or not, you know what I mean? Anyway, so they waited a few years later and then they went to pass it again after they basically paid off the president. That president then basically announced years later that it made a bad decision because the Federal Reserve then had control of the finances of the US. They were dictating to the US Treasury. What has happened now is that control of all these bankers is now being taken away, but we've given them that control. You look at it, they managed to get it to a system where even our jobs from our employers, they were used to pay us directly. Then laws and that got put in place where our money went to the banks first, and then we could only receive a wages if we got paid from the bank. So all this money was going to them. They were then investing it, and you do not have a bank account. This is what you have to understand. There is no actual bank account. Your money doesn't sit there in an account. It's classed as a deposit. So they have a note to say that you have paid this amount of much money in. They're doing whatever they want to do with all that money, lending it out 10 times over. When you go to pull it out, they know that you can only pull out up to that amount. So an account doesn't actually exist. The minute it's in there, it's lent 10 times over. So these rich people have just got richer and richer and richer, and this banking system literally has controlled the entire world. Now what we're doing is we are taking that control back from the banking system and putting it back into the people. So those that have been playing with crypto wallets and using them for years, you have already understood how that works because you have had control of your money in a decentralized wallet. And this is where you're going to hear this a lot. Decentralization is what we're moving to. It's no longer going to be centrally controlled by these banks where they have dictated everything from every up and down crash in the banking system. They have played every single bit of it. They've obviously created a boom, but then they've created the crash. Why have they done that? Because then they've bought all the stuff cheap from all the businesses that have closed. Then they've created a boom, and then they've created a crash. And that's what they've done over and over again. Now that control has been taken away from this banking mafia, in a sense, this banking elite, these rich families that have controlled it, because back then power was control. Now we're moving to private wallets. So we are then going to get paid into our own wallet, which is on our phone, on your phone itself. It doesn't go anywhere else. So if you get a monthly wage into your wallet, it will stay in that wallet. It won't do anything else. It will stay there until you use it. Whereas the reason why they were sort of trying to play it down that everything was fine in the banking system is so that there wasn't a run on the bank. And what that basically means is when everybody panics, go, oh my God, the money's going, I need to get my money out, because they know they don't have that money in there. It's invested everywhere.